Great.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 8th meeting of the Metroplex Board. Beautiful night in downtown Schenectady. We have a full agenda tonight, so we'll get started. The first item on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the March 27th meeting. I have a motion on this. Sharon, seconded by Karen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we go to the treasurer's report.
So, actual and budget this month are almost spot on. The actual is $3,550,750. The budget is $3,511,701. We have a $39,000 variance, and year-to-date budget, is $10,535,105, and available budget so far this year is $6,984,355. We're a little behind, but we usually catch up over the next few months. Cash and equivalents are $5,934,933, and undistributed project funds are $8,834,407. The pre-development budget currently has $339,821 available for it. Seems like things are going along very smoothly. I think we're through the audit and we don't have anything else coming up.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report? Brad, second. Sharon, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We go to our agenda items this evening. First one deals with my side.
Yeah, we're just coming back for an amendment to the project that we budgeted the March meeting. As you know, my side is make some investments in the planetarium. They continue to receive a few additional quotes. They need to do some additional upgrades to the Dolby sound system and the projection. Gets their project budget up to $106,000. We're looking to allocate an additional $44,000 to the project, which will close their funding gap and leave a little bit of room in case anything else comes up.
Have a motion on this? Karen, second. Sharon, we have firm written quotes now. Last month we had estimates. They firmed up quotes. This redoes all the seating, redoes all the sound, projections. Really creates almost like a new planetarium. The planetarium drew 17,000 people last year. We expect that will go up considerably. We have a handshake with an immersive show that is going to come in that has drawn a lot of attention in other markets. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this. Again, this My Side project has been a masterful OPM deal for us. Assemblyman Santa Barbara did a spectacular job in getting $10 million of the state budget. The county is paying for the building RFP, which is out. We had to walk through the building the other day, and we had 23 folks show up for the pre-bid walkthrough, which is great. Bids are due in early June. So the county's covering the cost of the RFP. Mr. Santa Barbara's money will help fund the facility improvements, and our piece of the keep my side here and help them grow is the planetarium upgrade, and we think it's a good investment. Happy to answer any other questions. Seeing no, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next we go just to really a classic institution. It's going to be Civitello's on North.
Speaking about some OPM, we were just down with the city for their DRI funded J Connector project with the engineers. This is a quarter that will do really well once that connection is made. Civitello's building at 42 North J, the building next to it, 44 North J, and there is an additional building here. It's a two-family home, but also owned by this development team, 40 North J, that is looking to be completely renovated and improved. Project budget of $724,000. It will fix the facade, improve the facade of Civitello's. It will demolish the building. You'll see it, the picture to the left is kind of a decrepit building and need to be taken down so that additional outdoor space can be made. And then not part of our project because it's a two-family home, but the development team will do a new facade improvements, paint, and other improvements to the building at 40 North J. Again, all in $724,000. It's Civitello's back open. Mark Novak and Ben Romer are the team that are working together on this. Ben Romer has recently purchased 47 Knott Street, the old TSS building, Union College alum, which I like to always point out. His partner, Mark, learned the business from the original owners and is very excited to continue it for the next, hopefully, same number of years.
Can I have a motion on this? Aaron, seconded by Brad. It's just a great story here, how to do a transition for a historic property. Kind of very important part of Schenectady's history. This new ownership came in. They, Roe and Angela wanted to retire. They agreed to stay on, teach him the business, teach him the recipes, show him how the place works. They went on to retire, but it was a very good transition. And now the work is underway. I want to thank Jennifer for all her work on this. It's just a classic place in Schenectady, and it's a key part of Little Italy. And for a modest amount of funding from us, we really rebuild this building. I know Scott and I were talking, this building has needed work for many years, but it was never an opportunity to close and take a breather. And the capital was never available to redo it. Now the capital is in hand, new owners are in hand, and we can move this forward and really restore this facility and keep this kind of very important institution alive in Schenectady.
Yes, resolution 173324 is the secret resolution, unlisted action. The following resolution is for the $75,000 grant and sales tax exemption.
Any other questions? Okay, on the secret resolution, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks. And on the adopting the general project plan, your motion, Karen. Brad, you want to second that? So Brad, do you want to second that?
Yeah.
Second.
Right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. It's passed. Thank you. Next, we go to Watt Street in a project that David and the team have been working on for quite some time.
Yeah, Danielle's worked closely on this property with me, so it feels like we've talked about this a few times, but it's been with the IDA. This is a IDA-owned parcel that was created as a auxiliary parking lot for the Superpower building. Superpower moved to a new facility in Glenville in 2020. Very happy over there, doing well. Left the building unused. The lot continued to be unused, and unfortunately became kind of a maintenance nightmare for us with trash and everything else that we're constantly picking up. We had the Ball group reach out to us about potential storage facility. They're in conversations right now about also purchasing the Superpower building. The project for Metroplex would be to provide a short-term payment of taxes, sales tax, and mortgage tax exemption for them to construct a storage facility and lease it out. That would put this property back on the tax rolls for the first time since it's been a property. They used to have a road through it, and helps with just our overall economic development activities there. Neighboring property, which Scott has been involved with, that's owned by Robert Moore. He's looking to take a small piece of this parcel to support his neighboring tenant and future expansion. And then Northern Rivers, which is in the back, they've been very supportive of this as well. And they're going to sell back a portion of the excess property that they have, originally was IDA property, to support this. And they're real happy about the safety improvements that they'll see for fencing, cameras, lighting, and everything else. So really a win-win for everybody.
Have a motion. Karen, seconded by Brad. A little discussion. This is a project from the failed policies of the past. They had developed under the previous failed economic development regime in Schenectady, and the failed mayor and council at the time, going back more than 20 years, they said this project, this old Makwa warehouse, which was a printing operation for GE, was going to be so successful with these businesses coming in that they spent almost $1 million to build a parking lot across the street. So you're going to have so many jobs. There's going to be so much activity here. It's going to be Grand Central Station, as you say. It's going to be the busiest place in the city. And to our knowledge, there's never been one day that a car is parked in this lot. Not one day. The money was just a complete waste. And in fact, it was a burden to the IDA, and we've had to clean it, maintain it. And we had, 5 truckloads of trash come out of that lot recently at our expense. So again, this is just, aim, point, shoot. I mean, there was no planning. There was no reality to their plan to develop this building. And the rush to spend $1 million to build a parking lot that was never used. So we're doing a lot here. We're hopefully going to have the superpower building be repurposed and become a storage facility. It's a major taxpayer in the city. It's assessed at quite a large number. We sell this lot and get it out from underneath the IDA stewardship and responsibility, and we realize how much for the lot?
$225,000.
So we did an appraisal. We're getting full value for that. And as I said, the operator that's coming in has been very accommodating. Danielle and David have done a great job. It's a very complicated transaction. And Scott has been working so that we can accommodate an expansion of the building that Bob Moore owns next door and accommodate the Northern Rivers people who are in the rear of the site. So it's, as David said, it's truly a win-win-win and making the best of a bad situation that we inherited. The lot, some may ask, could you build a building or do some other kind of development here? You cannot, which is another reason it was a stupid thing to build a parking lot there, because there's major city sewer infrastructure under this 36-inch sewer pipe, I believe.
I heard there's sewer and sanitary.
Yeah, big time city infrastructure under this lot. And again, the new city administrator, our team at City Hall now has been extremely cooperative and helpful to us in working with the developer on a plan to develop this lot and protect the city infrastructure. The other thing you'll enjoy is that when they did this lot, even with the precious city infrastructure, these are like the main trunk lines in the city. No one ever filed an easement to protect the city's interests under the parking lot. No surprise to Sharon, having dealt with these folks and the team that was there. So we had to go to the city council and ensure that, and again, at our expense and our time and effort, get an easement in place to protect the city's infrastructure that's under the lot. So we're really happy to move this forward. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Danielle, David, the city team, the city engineer, Chris Wallen, Paul Flafon, Commissioner of General Services at the city, the mayor, the council. Again, we still are cleaning up messes from, over 20 years ago of this group that was running economic development at the time. So we're thrilled. I know that was a long story to go through, and I apologize, but I just wanted you to know the full background of this parking lot. It's kind of like the bridge to nowhere, a parking lot that was never used. We make the best of a bad situation. Any questions?
Yeah, what's the time frame on this? I'm assuming we're just going, it should be fairly quickly, or?
Yeah, they're looking close with the IDA, hopefully at the end of this month.
Okay.
We're working back and forth with the city for the easement that they needed. He'd like to be able to get this thing built at the end, fall at the end of the year.
Okay, great.
Any other questions? If not, sorry for the long soliloquy, but it needed to be said. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
So that's secret, right?
That's seeker, and we need another motion. We need a motion. Karen, second. Sharon, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we move to the Schenectady 40 redevelopment project. I want to ask David to summarize, and I'll probably jump in as well.
Yeah, I'll let Ray jump in. Another complicated, great project. You probably saw the county action, because that article about that. I'll just go through the focus on our involvement. A grant for site appropriation and some guarantees not to exceed $850,000. Ray will explain how we think we're going to be in for a lot less than that. The project site is three Mohawk Auto site parcels, 9 parcels fronting on Albany Street and 4 on Schenectady Street. Really a substantial area in our neighborhood. And I'll just make note that this action of the acquisition, demolition, site preservation, and some guarantees, that qualifies as unlisted action, and that's a negative declaration. As we all know, this is a transformational effort in this part of the community that needs continued blight removal.
And this is a call for public hearing, right?
Yep, call for public hearing.
Any motion on this?
Excuse me, no, we already done public hearing.
Oh, we did, okay.
This one is to accept the general project plan as the
Okay. Need a motion? Sharon? Steve, you want a second? Thank you. Let me just walk you through this. So the county is another example of, we call OPM, other people's money, leveraging state and other resources to make good projects happening in Schenectady. The county stepped up and purchased this lot from Auto Center from Wakanda for $975,000. They closed on that transaction. The county also provided $3 million in ARPA money to help facilitate the construction of a grocery store at this site. We then, with site control, were able to win a $2.75 million Restore New York grant to clean up the site, demolish the current building, and again, whatever money is left over after we clean it up and demolish it can be used toward construction of the new buildings on site. So again, $3 million from the county for the project, $950 to buy it, $2.75 million from the state. When we got into this, when we started looking at this site, that's all well and good on the State Street side. But on the Albany Street side, despite the progress we've made in getting Summit Towers redone and getting Joe Allen Apartments built, there was still this long series of blighted properties referred to as Schenectady 40, which was run by probably the worst landlord in the history of Schenectady. And the city went after this landlord and won a very large judgment of over $760,000 due to the good work of the city codes folks and building inspectors and the team at City Hall. And to satisfy that judgment to the city, a receiver was appointed. And we've been working with that receiver, and we have a development company that is going to buy those properties and work with us as well on the Mall Honda site to develop it as a mixed-use project. And our role is this: we had already approved $300,000. You had already approved $300,000 as a backstop toward the remediation costs of taking down these various Schenectady 40 properties. That's behind their first $300,000 for the remediation. So we've got that money. Secondly, they're asking for a backstop on the purchase of the properties. They're going to go ahead and purchase this for over $1 million. They are going to demolish them. They're going to remediate them first and then demolish them. They've done all the background work. So they're into this thing for a lot of money. There's still some risk associated with it, as with any project, and some other things that we have to get approval for. So there's quite a bit of exposure. So the agreement is that if for any reason they decide to back out of the project, which we don't expect, we would basically get a cleared site and everything they spent millions of dollars for $550,000. But again, we think the chances of that are infinitesimal. They're not backing out after they've done all this. But as a backstop to their lenders, we need to be in that game. And then there's the goal would be, again, we're hoping to not spend the $300 on remediation. Use that toward the $550 backstop. But once they move ahead with the project, that money will be freed up. And then we have a $300,000 backstop on the grocery store lease that we're looking to put in place. Again, I'm hoping to not spend any of this money because we're moving ahead with a good project here with a very solid track record developer who's including community builders, who's really protecting their own investment. They've already spent over $80 million on Albany Street corner. And again, we learned quickly, you can't do Mall Honda without doing Schenectady 40. You got to look at both sides of the street. You got to do State Street, you got to do Albany Street. We're moving development up State Street in a big way. In total, this is a very large investment. And again, our piece of it is small. When you look at the leverage of state money we had, you look at what the county has done, which is fantastic. Look at what the city has done, which is fantastic in getting these properties. And the city's going to benefit from this. I live in the city. The city's getting $760,000 when they sell these properties. That's very meaningful to the city. So
increase the taxes too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as I said to the county legislature the other night, thank you for bringing it up, Karen. We're going to do to this site what we've done time and time again, Curry Road Plaza, Alco. When we had these failed leaders of the past saying you can never redevelop the Alco site. What a laugh! What a joke that is. What we're going to do to the Mohawk Honda site, we're going to clean it up. We're going to build something substantial there, And that creates an annuity effect for the community. There's jobs created, there's construction work, and there's ongoing tax base, to your point, Karen. So it creates an annuity effect for the community. So we're really excited to move this forward. We have 2 motions on this, right?
Yeah, and our action was seeker unlisted. When the project is fully formulated, it goes to the planning commission, also to the IDA. We'll look holistically at the project. It's not there right now, but it's certainly, this is a monumental step. And then the second action is adopting the general project plan. We did do the public hearing previously.
So I need a motion, or have a motion.
Yeah,
I have a motion and a
on
second
the
on
seeker.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah. Can we vote on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we need to vote on the general project plan. Same thing, Karen, seconded by Steve. Can you help us with that, please? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great. We'll move on. Another very significant, important project for downtown, which is the Masonic Temple project. And we'll ask David Simon.
So 308 State Street includes the Masonic Temple building, the former Rudnick's building, and then the former Chamber building. The Masonic Temple building, built in 1911, has been closed since 2013. The Chamber building was closed since 2016. Rudnick's right around 2013 as well. The community has really made it a priority to see this building preserved, and we're happy to bring in a team that focuses on historic preservation. Tim Foley, his company, Lakewell Development, LLC, Ray and Scott, I believe, have met and has had really good conversations. He's working with C2 Architecture to put together the plan to historically preserve the building. He anticipates an investment of over $11 million. The building has a $450,000 Restore New York grant already allocated to it as well. Our involvement with, we're looking at around a $900,000 grant, sales tax exemption, pilot, and our standard benefits. Due to the size of our involvement, we need to hold a public hearing. That's resolution 173924. We'd also look, because it's historic, to act as the lead agency to do a coordinated review. We will take in all the state partners and local planning commission and or zoning if needed, notify them, and do a full very much review prior to bringing it back to the board.
Have a motion on this? Karen, second by Sharon. Great developer based in New York City, out of Virginia as well. Just signed a deal to do 4 buildings in Portsmouth, Virginia. Small world. Portsmouth, Virginia has a Rivers Casino that just opened, and it's been very successful. We met with this developer today, Scott Nine. We're very excited about this. He has buildings under contract. They're empty. They're in bad shape. We need to save them. The mayor is very supportive of this. The county, the whole economic development team, that these buildings have to be preserved. And it's a perfect complement to what's going on with the Wedgeway building. So it's $300 for each building, total of $900. Again, the budget is much larger than that, over $10 million, over $11 million. And we've got to fix this block. It's just critical. It's a transition between the Proctor's block and our work on Lower State Street. And it looks horrible now. Rudnick's had a fire, the Chamber building's been closed. Really, really significant project, and we're excited to move this forward.
Question.
Yep.
So, I haven't been in these buildings in a really, really long time, but the one on the corner, I believe, doesn't have a second, like there's a gap between the 2 floors. So are they gonna reinstitute that, or, like, I believe between the 5th and 6th floor, there's like no floor, it's like high ceilings.
It's open.
It's open,
Yeah.
so are they gonna put another?
I think, well, they'll have to work with SHPO and see what qualifies as where they can make.
I'm just curious, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
want to
I've
get
seen-
into the.
I've seen mezzanine level, they've done.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let's, glad you addressed this. This was the Masonic Temple. So
Okay,
they had a ceremony room on the top floor.
okay,
And it's a very interesting building and very interesting place, very historic. And to get the credits, which are critical to the financing, you have to preserve these public gathering places in these buildings. Like when we're doing LRM in a school, you have to keep the gym, you have to keep the auditorium at Draper School. Learn this the hard way. You can't carve those up for apartments or put a mezzanine in. the developer is committed to preserving that room and making it part of the complex, providing amenities for the residents of the
I was just
building.
curious.
No, it's
I
a
was
very
just
good
curious. I
point.
know
It's a
there's no
very,
floor
it's a very interesting room, and we want to preserve that space, and that's critical to this whole project, but it
Okay.
adds a lot of expense. And so we need a motion, or have a motion?
We have a motion, a second
Second,
public
I'll
hearing,
see.
and that was seek the lead agency.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of it, calling to the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we need a motion to second on the seeker. Sharon, any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Last item tonight is we go to Niskuna, the Rivers Ledge Apartments.
Another unbelievable, beautiful transformation on the waterfront. It's Rivers Ledge, right on the bike trail in the Mohawk River. Phase 1, which is completed already. It's was it $35 million investment? 20 $20 million investment, and that they're now looking to move forward with a phase 2, which is an additional $12 million. 57 units of senior housing, covered parking. They went out there on the bike trail and saw that they already have the site graded and they're moving ready. This development's be done by Peter Louisi, Rivers Ledge of Niskuna LLC, and Rivers Ledge 2 of Niskuna LLC. They are looking for a partial exemption of taxes, a pilot, to get them through this second phase and create some stability for them to put this phase 2 into place. Really excited for those who do use the trail a lot. Not only will it be 57 units of housing, but they'll have some nice attractions there, a cafe, ice cream, all the fun stuff you like to do when you're doing a workout on the trail.
A motion on this? Aaron, second by Sharon.
And this is for the public viewing.
Call the public hearing. If you haven't been down there, you have to go. You literally have to go, because this was an auto junkyard that was on the river. And I went walking there the other night on the trail, and it's all the final finishes are in place. The lawns are immaculate, the pool, I mean, it is 160 beautiful housing units with an incredible river view, just stunning. And it helps us provide housing to all of the tech companies that are in our community, and you need to have good housing for these people. And we call it the Niskuna Innovation Corridor with capital G, R&D, E1, Momentous headquarters, et cetera. And now, if you drive down there now and walk down there, you'll see the pad site's been developed for the senior units, and that is going to be a spectacular second phase. And this housing is needed. People want to be in Niskuna, and there's not enough, people want to stay, they want to maybe sell their homes and downsize a little bit. There are not enough apartments, there are not enough senior units. There's not really any development sites remaining in Niskuna. So it took the vision of our team with Peter Louisi to take this auto junkyard and reimagine it as a development site. And clean it up again, take a brownfield and clean it up and prep it for development. But really, just take a minute. The new roundabout down there at the Resher Bridge, traffic flow is so much better. It's amazing. Just drive up Aqueduct Road, peek into Rivers Ledge. I know it sounds like I'm doing a commercial for the apartments, but it's really a jewel. And you drive down the bike path and you're at Mohawk Harbor, you're in the city, and all the amenities here. So great project. They're happy to move forward. Anything else?
You're thinking about not mowing your lawn anymore? The immaculate lawns, it makes you think, how do I get that?
So we got a motion and second. Any other questions? Yeah. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Any, no members of the public here? Any comments from the board on any subject? Sharon?
I just want to say that this meeting is my 20th year.
Congratulations.
Wow. Well, we appreciate every one of those meetings. Thank you.
20 more.
20 more. And our next meeting is June 12th at 5:30, and we look forward to seeing everyone, and we'll keep you posted on events between now and then. I have a motion to adjourn.
So
Karen, second by Sharon, all those in favor? Good night.
Aye.
Aye.